Welcome back to Emulating Pelé. Today it's episode 3, where we are now 20 years old. I've holidayed another couple of years from the last episode. Apologies for the 3-day gap between episode 2 and 3. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 days each time anyway, because it takes quite a bit of time to holiday, and then obviously I have to record the episode and then produce it, render it, upload it, etc. And also from episode 2 I had to add managers into teams. I asked the managers of Emulating Sir Alex Ferguson which team they would like to be manager of, and that took a bit of time to do for people to comment. I'm hoping that some of you guys will be managed by some of the managers. Some of them did in fact select teams that you were at in episode 2, but you may have moved on from then. So in this episode I'm going to do things in a bit more detail. In episode 2 I just sort of looked at a few players, but quite a few people interested in just the old format that I used to do, where I looked at every single player. It will take a bit of time, so first of all we will look at sort of the overall how people are, you know, in terms of highest value, highest contract, that sort of thing. Then look at the players in detail. So if you just want to hang around to see where the players are and who's got the most international caps, that sort of thing, then you can just watch the start of this video. If you want to see everything in detail, then you can continue watching. Either way, please leave a like on the video to support the series. Episode 1 of Emulating Pelé is my most liked video ever on my channel, which is just fantastic. That means a lot to me, so really thank you so much, guys. So first of all, we'll look at highest value down to lowest. As you can see, Mads Knudsen at Man City, a Danish centre-back, is our highest value player for 26.5 million, closely followed by the likes of Skippy, Work the Space, Dwayne Flanagan, Ryan Micallef, Alex MBB, who are all worth over 20 million. Amazing to be worth that much as 20-year-olds. Lowest is Ted Jackson on £0 value. I guess he is he's joining PSV. He's going from Feyenoord to PSV, in fact, and I'm guessing that is because because he's leaving on a free. That's why he's worth nothing. So can't really read too much into that. Kai Harrop is also worth very little. Not really sure why. Perhaps it's not worked out for him. Some players it won't work out for. We will see some players dropping off, and that others will be world beaters. And it will be different on every save. If you download the database, which I've put in the description below, from the Steam Workshop, you will notice that certain players will do better on different saves because they've got -10 potential, meaning that they can vary from 170 to 200 potential, and it will differ from game to game. So who's earning the most? Let's see. Skippy, 99k a week. That is huge. Almost 100k. Who's going to be our first 100k player? I don't know. Maybe in this episode, predict who you think will be, who has the chance, or the biggest chance of winning Ballon d'Or. Put that in the comment section below. That would be great. Then it's myself earning the second highest amount. Who's our lowest earner then? Let's see. It is Kai Harrop on 1.4k a week. Let's look at international caps. Who's got the most international caps? Full team international caps. Work the Space with 28, along with Dwayne Flanagan for Northern Ireland, and Anas Rama also has 27 for India. So the Indians doing very well goals wise. Look at that, 32 goals from the Indian Ronaldo in 28 games. That is sensational. Then it's Danny Welle, 11 goals in 15 for Finland. That is impressive too. Wang Heibo's doing quite well for Korea, and Maximiliano Orlando is doing quite well for San Marino, considering they score very few goals. Taylor Nelson has also got 8. That's a worthy mention for him. Baked Benz has the most youth appearances. He's now got 4 full-time caps, but he did get the most youth appearances. They can still play for the under-21s, so we may still see that increase in the next episode. So we'll have another look in the next episode. Youth goals though, Wang Heibo, 27 goals in 21 games at under-21 level for South Korea. That is very impressive. Very impressive indeed. If we just look at general info, we'll look at selection info to see who's got the most goals this season. Navarre Bilbao, 23 goals and Work the Space of 20. Highest average rating, Mads Knudsen, 7.91. That is very impressive. You can also look at something like assists. Top is Adam Morsey and Danilo Skripchenko with 8 clean sheets. Obviously there's only 5 keepers, 4 of which have managed to get clean sheets. Kenji Kimura with the most, 9 clean sheets. Full-time FM with 8. Dini Mac with 6. I'm not sure where the other keeper is. I'm sure we had 5 keepers, didn't we? Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Matt Jones didn't manage to get any clean sheets. He only played 2 games for whoever he's playing for. So let's go down the list and look at the players. We'll go in value order, I think, highest to lowest. So I'm afraid, Ted Jackson, you're going to have to wait till the end. It doesn't mean you're a worse player because you've got lower value, because some players will have a lower value because their contract's about to run up, of course. So Mads Knudsen, Danish centre-back, 14 caps for Denmark, plays for Manchester City. You can see his stats down here. If you want to read the biographies, just pause the video and you can have a read yourself, see what they've won. But let's look at career stats first of all. He left PSV, well, started at OB. Went there on a free. Atletico bought him for 1.4 million. PSV had him on loan before moving to Man City for 20.5 million, and he's been very impressive this season. If we look at his achievements to see what he has won with Man City, he's won the MLS All-Stars competition for some reason. They must have played in... What? That's strange. They obviously played in that competition against the MLS All-Stars. He's also won the Dutch League and the Euro Cup with Manchester City. If we just look at the previous winners, I will show competitions from time to time so you can see who's won recently if you're interested in that. Especially if one of our players wins a competition, we'll have a look and click through. So Man City didn't win the league. We'll have a look at the Premier League in a bit. Hopefully one of our players has managed to win it, so we'll look then. Next up is Skippy. He's worth a lot of money, playing for Dortmund, 3 goals in 17 games for Holland. You can see his stats down here in his biography here, positions he likes to play in. So we're going to achievements first of all. He's won a lot with Dortmund. He's won the Super Cup, the First Division twice, Super Cup twice in fact, and the German Cup runners-up. He's got a medal, and he's won the Dutch League as well. So PSV had a good season in 2015, as you would expect from them really. He left PSV for 13.75 million early on in his career, but wow, he's done very well since moving to Dortmund. So work the space is now at AC Milan. Very impressive international record, of course. They have dropped off a bit though recently. He did manage to get them up to 103rd in the world, but he has dropped off. He is the top Indian player. Anas Rama is 3rd. He's at Real Betis. We'll look at him in a bit. So India scoring plenty of goals will work the space up front, but I don't know if they'll ever manage to get up there with the big boys. I don't think they will in this series anyway. So he left Zenit for 8.25 million, joined AC Milan, had a very good season actually, 20 goals in all competitions in 49 games. That's a good start to his AC Milan career. What did he win? Let's see. Not sure we can see everything. We can't see the Russian league, so we don't know if they really won when he was there. They did win it in 2017, so he'd have won it when he was there in fact. So he has got a Russian Premier League title under his belt. I swear the managers look like Putin there from Turkmenistan. Okay, let's go back to Dwayne Flanagan, who is Northern Irish, 1 goal in 28 games for Northern Ireland. Had a very good international career in terms of caps, not scoring many goals, but he's at Manchester City, so he must be a good player. Let's look at his career stats. He left Celtic for 7.5 million this season, so I'm guessing he would have won quite a few with Celtic, or quite a few competitions, which we can't actually see because we don't have the Scottish League loaded, but I'm guessing they've won the league every single season. Yes, they have. So he's won quite a few Scottish titles with them already, and no doubt a few Scottish Cups as well. So Ryan Micallef, our Maltese player. Oh, this is going to hurt my voice. This is racing through. I'm going to have a very dry throat by the end. 7 goals in 25 games for Malta. You can have a look at stats and biography yourself if you're interested in that. But let's see what he's done at Crystal Palace. He's been there his whole career. Can't imagine he's won anything, but he's got a very good average rating. Achievements, hasn't won any competitions, as you'd expect with Crystal Palace. I guess the best thing they're going to win is the League Cup, maybe the FA Cup. LXMBB, Dutch, 5 goals in 22 games. He is a star. We saw him at the top of the value rating last time round, and he's still very high up, earning 78k a week now, and really is a very good attacking midfielder or striker. So let's look at him. He left PSV for Schalke for 13.75 million, and since then has done very well this season. 18 goals in all competitions. Achievements wise, he won the Dutch League, hasn't won anything with Schalke by the looks of it. Don't know where they finished in the league. We'll have a quick look at the German league now. A lot of our players and managers are at German teams, in fact. So Dortmund have won it the last couple of years, and Bayern won it previous to that. Dortmund only won it by 1 point. Schalke only 5 points behind the leaders, down in 61 points in 4th place, which isn't bad at all. So Alex MB's doing well for Schalke. Maybe he has to move on to an even bigger club to really fulfil his potential. Paul Holden, that's me. I'm at Liverpool, having a good international career with Faroe Islands, who have grown up to 103rd in the world, 93rd at their peak. Probably not just down to me, but that is quite an impressive growth from 188th in 2016. That is incredibly impressive growth, in fact. Maybe it's not just down to me. I'm a player that can play quite a few positions, even though I was only put myself down as a right back, but I've ended up being an attacking midfielder as well. I just quickly looked to see where I've been playing, actually, just out of interest. Mainly at right back, actually, so I have been playing right back. Earlier in my career, Liverpool decided to play me in attacking midfield. Liverpool have won the league once. Now's the time to look at the league. So we've seen Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea and Man United win it. 4th this season for Liverpool. There's a real topsy-turviness about the league. It's good to see 3 different winners in that time. Falcao and Volland, top scorer for Man United. And I've got the 2nd top average rating. I'm happy with that. Definitely happy with that. Very impressive couple of seasons after a pretty average first season where I did in fact win the league with them. Since then I've been very good. Not scoring many goals because I'm playing right back. John Colkeen, an Irish right back. 11 caps for Ireland, worth 20 million. He's at Man City as well. Lots of players at Man City, but they are getting game time. Last time, in emulating Ronaldo, Man City and Chelsea often ruined players. In fact, I'm usually ruined by Chelsea, but I've actually moved to Liverpool this time, which makes a change. So he's won a few things with Man City. He's won the Capital One Cup, the MLS All-Stars, and the Euro Cup. He's been there his whole career. He's getting a few games. Played 30 games in total this season, which is quite good, really. You can see why these videos are going to be long. I won't do this every single time because the videos will be incredibly long each time. Naval Bilbao is at Athletic Bilbao. He's been there his whole career. Let's see what he's won, if he's won anything. He was on loan at FC20 for a while. Achievements-wise, he hasn't won anything that we can see anyway, but I've got the Spanish and Dutch leagues loaded, so doesn't look like he's won anything. Danny Welle, Finnish, 11 goals in 15 games. Very good player, good contract and good value as well with Manchester City, where he has been since moving from Arsenal for £21 million. Hasn't played a huge number of games though with them, but when he has played, he's scored 4 goals in 10 games. It's not bad at all. I'm not sure why he decided to leave Arsenal for Man City. I guess it's money. That's probably the simple answer. He won the Under-21s Cup with Manchester City this year, but he needs to try and break into the first team. He's worth a lot of money though. Maybe he should go out on loan next season. Bourne McClure at Fulham. Where are Fulham? Are they in the Premier League again now? They are, in fact. They did get promoted. So he's at a Premier League team. He's worth a lot of money. He's got a good contract, and he's got a good international record of 12 caps already. Those are his achievements. He moved to Fulham from Olympia in Slovenia, and has won the FA Cup with Fulham. So that's very good. Shouldn't sound so surprised, but it's nice to see a different team winning the FA Cup. Arsenal, Chelsea, Fulham and Tottenham are the current winners. So well done. He's got an FA Cup under his belt. Percy Percivillian, our half Scottish, half Icelandic left back, plays for Chelsea. 1 goal in 20 games for Scotland. Looks like a real star for Scotland, in fact. Let's look at where he's been. He moved to Chelsea for 28 million from Man City. They weren't playing him, but Chelsea are playing him, so that's a good move for him. He's done well there. Not very good average ratings at all whatsoever. We sometimes see the fullbacks struggling actually in these series. I don't know why. I'm doing well at right back, but Percivillian's struggling in the league especially. He's done okay in the cups. Needs to improve his performances at club level. Danilio Skripchenko, our Ukrainian centre-back, plays for Monaco, moved there for 10.25 million. We've seen a lot of money flying around already. Who's going to be the biggest? Who's going to have accumulate the most transfer funds, transfer money over the years? We'll see. He's won a few things with Monaco. They've won the league, second this year. PSG have dominated apart from that 1 year that Monaco did win it. So well done to him. Mark Eads, a Welsh guy, 6 goals in 16 games for Wales. That's very impressive. Maybe he's the right-sided Gareth Bale. He's at Everton, where he's been his whole career, apart from being on loan at Huddersfield once. Achievements-wise, relegated from the Premier League with Huddersfield, but of course he was only on loan, so it's not the end of the world. He's at Everton now. Ryan Bray, another right-back, plays for Arsenal. 13 caps for England. That is impressive, actually. It's hard to break into the England team. We do find that probably one of the harder teams to break into, apart from the likes of Spain and Brazil are usually a bit harder. He's been at Arsenal since he moved to 3.6 million from Brentford early on in his career. Achievements-wise, the runners-up in the Capital One Cup for Arsenal. Let's look at the winners of the Capital One Cup. Man United, Man City, West Brom and Chelsea are the winners so far. Where are we? Down to Christopher Kvikstad, who's on loan at Stoke from Tottenham. 5 caps for Norway. He's moved around a lot, actually. He's had a lot of loan deals from Tottenham, who bought him for 675k from Mould. Achievements-wise, hasn't won anything at club level yet. Okay, let's go down. Marcus Ralphson, English, for 1 goal in 4 caps for England. He's done well to get into the team. Competitive position, the right-hand side of midfield. Moved to Arsenal for 14 million from Cardiff, where he had a good time in the Championship and has only played 1 sub-appearance for Arsenal in the league, but he's still got 4 caps for England, and I'm guessing they overcame this season or when he was in the Championship, so he's done well to get caps. Let's go down to Paul Wanless, a half English, half Norwegian player. Hasn't played for the English first team yet. Maybe still thinking about switching to Norway. I don't know. Time will tell. He's at QPR, where he's moved. He's moved twice. West Ham bought him for 2.1 million, and now he's still in the Championship, where QPR bought him for 11.25 million. Wow. But that's at the end. I guess that's this season, in fact. Maybe in January. I don't know. He's not played any games. He played plenty of games this season, just gone. So I'm guessing he's just gone to a team that's perhaps gone up. Yeah, they've won the league. So he's jumped ship from West Ham, who have stayed in the Championship, to QPR, who are going up to the Premier League comfortably so. So Paul Wanless will be in the Premier League next season. Matt Howitt, another Englishman, 2 goals in 15 games under 21 level. Hasn't broken into the first team yet. Maybe he's not being played by Chelsea. No, he's not. He needs to move on, doesn't he? Playing plenty of games at under 21 level for Chelsea. And he's won the Capital One Cup, so I guess one of his only games was actually the Capital One Cup final this season. So he has won something. Oliver Grant, Italian, half American player. He's played for under 21s, the Italian team. He'd be better off playing for the first team in America, I think. He's at Chelsea, where he's been the whole time. First season's just vanished for him there for some odd reason. He played a few games for Chelsea this season. Nothing special. Perhaps he played in the Capital One Cup final. No, he's won the Community Shield, but he wasn't in the team at the Capital One Cup. He may have played in the earlier rounds. I don't think it shows on this in terms of them winning that sort of competition. They have to be in the team to win the competition in the final team. In real life, I think you'd win a medal if you played in the earlier rounds. Philip Ekstrand, a Swedish player who's got 8 caps for Sweden, and he's at Man United, where he moved for 1.2 million from Helsingborg early on in his career. Played on loan at Bristol City in the Championship, did well there, and didn't play at all in the first team this season apart from the cup competitions. Mainly non-competitive reserve under 21 football for him. Hopefully can break into the first team though. Taylor Nelson, the American striker. Let's click on him. 17 caps for America, 8 goals. Good youth career as well. And he's at Real Betis, and they are giving him a chance by the looks of it. He's playing plenty of games in La Liga and getting a few goals, not huge numbers. 9 goals in all competitions this year in 24 games. I think he's going to be a good player though. And Real Betis I think that's a good team to be at. Full-time FM, our English keeper, who's actually got 3 caps for England. That is very impressive to be able to dislodge Joe Hart for 3 games anyway. Maybe they're just friendlies. But very well done to Full-Time FM. At the age of 20, getting into the England team. He's at Watford. He's just been promoted from the Championship, I believe. Yes, 2nd place. They've been up and down. But he's getting games. He's not having the best average ratings, but he is getting games, and that's what matters. Conceding quite a lot of goals. But he's got into the England team, despite the fact that he's conceding quite a few goals with Watford. Moving on to Ali Abel, who's plays for Kuwait, 26 games for them. He's had a good international career, and he's at Frankfurt, who are in the Bundesliga, where he moved for 4.5 million, and playing plenty of games and has a very good average rating. So he's a good player, very good player indeed. We didn't actually look at if he'd won anything. Won the Asian Games football tournament with Kuwait under 23s, and the Asian Nations Cup runners-up as well. Moving on to Sam Lewis then, who's a Man City player but on loan at Huddersfield this season. I'm a bit worried about him, sort of because he's at Man City. The players at Man City can struggle. There's too many at Man City, really. But he's had a good youth career with England, and he's done okay with Huddersfield in the Championship. Nothing amazing. He's not set the world on fire, so he does need to improve next season wherever he is. I guess he will be loaned out again. Let's just quickly look at his achievements. He's won the MLS All-Stars competition with Man City, and that's about it. Todd Woodherra-Amato, our Irish fullback that can play left or right back, has 13 caps for Ireland, 2 ahead of the other right back, Irish right back, John Cole Keane. I don't know if he's playing there for Ireland. He might be playing left back for Ireland. Let's have a look. International, he's played 5 games at left back and 4 at right back. He's equally good at both. So if I was Ireland, I'd play him left back and go Cole Keane at right back. He's at Burnley still, where he's doing okay. They've survived in the Premier League for 4 years, and they've survived this season as well, quite comfortably so, in 12th place. So yeah, he's done okay, hasn't he? Nothing special at club level, but to finish mid-table with Burnley is an achievement, actually, you can argue. Alfredo Garcia then, our Gibraltar player at PSG, has plenty of caps for Gibraltar, 4 goals as well, and they don't score many goals at all, so he's done well to get 4 goals. Not playing a huge number of games for PSG, but very good average ratings. Achievements-wise, he's won a lot with them. That is a lot of things. So, well, he's probably won the most, actually, out of anyone. In fact, he's won the Champions League. Let's look at the Champions League winners. Arsenal, in the first year, so Arsenal fans should be happy about that. Bayern Munich, PSG and Man United this year. So well done to Alfredo Garcia. I think that's the first player we've come across that have won the Champions League. We've got players at Arsenal and Man United. The Arsenal players we haven't seen win anything because it was their first year, so I guess they didn't play in that competition. But still, they're at a club that won a Champions League, so that should benefit them. Will Mothorpe, Welsh attacking player, 5 goals in 16 games for Wales. That's an impressive record as well, just like Mark Eads. I think he had 6 goals. Where are Wales in the world then? 66th. That's a massive contrast to real life, where they're very high at the moment. So he's at West Brom, who were relegated to the Championship this year, and they finished 8th. So maybe he needs to move on to a Premier League club to really improve. I think they won a cup competition, didn't they? Or am I dreaming there? Anyway, he's not won anything. Moving on to Wang Haibo. 9 goals in 21 games for South Korea, having a very good international career, as you can see. He's still at this French team in League One, Onavant Guingamp, where he's doing well. He's scoring plenty of goals. But I think we'd all like to see him moving on to a bigger team eventually. But I think playing for a mid-table or lower league team at this stage is beneficial. The Man City players are struggling, as we can see. Let's go down to Fabricio Statsanen, Brazilian who's managed to win his first cap for Brazil, which is fantastic, a really good achievement, because our Brazilian players often struggle at international level because it's such a difficult team to break into. So he's moved around a bit. He's been at Sparta Prague, and he went on loan to Tripolis. But he's now moved to Freiburg for 3.2 million in Bundesliga. Lots of players going over to Germany. And he has actually won the German Cup with Freiburg. So well done to him. Twice they've won it. He obviously has only won it the second time. but he's won a competition, which is good. Gil Canario, our Portuguese player, still at Nacional de Madeira. 6 caps for Portugal now. He's doing well at the age of 20 and been there his whole career. And he's done okay, not amazing average ratings. He's won this competition in Portugal this season, stopping the dominance of Porto. Let's look at the Premier League in Portugal. Porto have won it 3 out of 4 times. Benfica winning it the other time. Moving on to Victor Santana, a Romanian winger. 2 goals in 10 games for Romania. He's at PSG, where he moved for 1.7 million from Valencia. I don't know why they sold him for so cheap, because they actually got made a loss on him. Had a good season on loan in Serie B, Atlanta, before moving to PSG, where he's been playing in the second team mainly, but he's still a Romanian international. Unfortunately, the only achievement is being relegated from Serie A with Atlanta. Moving on to our German player, Janu Hanklauk, hasn't managed to get a full international cap for Germany. He's got a few under-21 caps though. He's at Schalke, and he's been there since the start of his career. And he's getting first-team football now over the last couple of years. And this season he got a good average rating, and hasn't won anything yet with Schalke. Daniel Turner, our Australian wonder kid, 5 goals in 12 games for Australia. Probably looked the best player at the start in terms of all-round ability, and he still looks very good. But perhaps hasn't developed as much as we'd hoped. He's not been a first team regular for Rubin really. Quite a few games this season, but unfortunately not doing huge amounts. He's finished 3rd with Rubin 3 seasons in a row, but I think he needs a bigger move to really develop. He looks good, doesn't he? But he needs to be at a better club. Rubin are a good club. 3rd in Russia is no mean feat at all, but I think it'd be nice if he could get moved to Spain or England or Germany. Cameron Carome then is at Bayern Munich still. Hasn't managed to get a full cap for Germany either. Started playing for the first team now, which is good to see. I wonder if he's won anything in his time. He's won the Under-19 Championship and the European Super Cup with Bayern. He may not have played enough league games to win a title, and they haven't won it the last 2 years. Dortmund have won it. Making our way down the list, Dan Still is our Andorran international. 24 games for Andorra, and he's at Barcelona. That's probably the biggest thing we've seen so far, moving from Sunderland for 1.3 million, hardly anything. Unfortunately, he's not really played for them. A few first team games for Barcelona. Been playing in the B team as well, but not a huge number. So hopefully he can start to either move on loan to another team and get lots of football, or break into the Barcelona team. But they obviously believe in him if he's gone to Barcelona. Maximiliano Orlando, our San Marino player, who's helped them up to 177th. That's the highest they've been in the world, but they're currently 195th. Of course, he's the top player for San Marino, but he's managed to score 9 goals for San Marino, which is an achievement in itself. He's at Lazio, where he moved for 2.8 million. Hasn't really done a huge amount, apart from be runners-up in the Italian Cup with Lazio. Okay, let's go down to Kenji Kimura, our Japanese goalkeeper. 18 caps for Japan. Looks probably our strongest goalkeeper overall. He's a very good player. He's at Lyon and has been there his whole career. This season played nearly every league game and helped them to 3rd place position. Has he won anything? Whoops, that's injuries. Winner of the East Asian Cup with Japan. Dini Mack, another goalkeeper, plays for Mali. I think it's Mali. Yeah, 7 caps for Mali, and he's at a French club as well. In fact, he's at Lens or Lens. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it. Racing Club for Lens. 23 games for them this season in the league. Conceded 35 goals. He's done okay, hasn't he? Nothing special either. There's some players that they're sailing along nicely, but they're only 20. There's so much time for them to improve. Baked Benz then, our Swiss international. He's done well at youth level for Switzerland. 4 caps at full team international as well. He's at Leverkusen, where he's been his whole career, and has been runners-up with Leverkusen in the Euro Cup twice in a row, which is unfortunate, and also in the German Cup. So he's got 3 silver medals there. He's been a nearly man. John Johnson, our Scottish international. Everyone's been going on about him, all the Scots people commenting. But I think you've got to pin your hopes on Percy Percivillian, unfortunately, because this guy's only won 3 caps for Scotland. Doesn't look amazing. He's good, but not amazing compared to... I'd say Percy Percivillian's going to be your star international, to be honest. You may want John Johnson to be your star man, but he's moved to Chelsea for 1.1 million and not played for them at all. He's been on loan at Middlesbrough, and in fact been on loan at Middlesbrough in League One this season and didn't play many games. So that shows where he's at. There's not much going for him. I don't know what's happened, but he doesn't look particularly special. In future episodes we maybe will look at his potential and his current ability. But it's not working out well for John Johnson at the moment, I'm afraid. Adam Morsey, contracted to Heerenveen in Holland, and he has been there his whole career as well, and has had a very good season this season. Good average rating, Dutch Cup runners-up, and no caps for Egypt at all yet, strangely enough. No under 21 or full team caps. I'm not sure what's happening there. Danendra Sakti, our Indonesian international, lots of caps for them. He's at Juventus, where he moved for 2 million from FC Utrecht, and achievements-wise hasn't won anything yet, unfortunately. That's strange. You'd have thought Juventus would have won the league. Let's look at Serie A. They did win the league, but I guess he didn't play enough games this season to be able to pick up a medal. No, he only played 4 games, that's why. That explains that. Where are we? Nearly there. Anas Rama, Indian international, lots of games for India, lots of goals as well. Moved from FC Utrecht as well for 2.6 million. Played quite a few games for Real Betis this year. In fact, we do have one of the... we did have someone in charge of FC Utrecht. That's a spoiler for the next video. Okay, let's move down to Mossad Radio. 6 goals in 12 games for Rwanda at Inter Milan now, where he moved for 1.7 million. He also left FC Utrecht. What's happened there? Only played 2 games though this season for Inter. Hasn't managed to win anything. Let's go down to Tomislav Benko, who's our Croatian international left back, plays for Sassuolo, where he's been for 3 years after moving for £10 million, and has played quite a few games in the first 2 seasons, but this season hasn't really done much for them at all, strangely enough. Hasn't managed to win anything either. Some of these players lower down, not so successful, which is a shame to see. Mitchell Katoni, Australian. Lots of caps for Australia, 4 goals as well. Is that Galatasaray, where he's been his whole career? He's done quite well for them, actually. So he's done well. We won't be able to see his... where are we going? Let's go back. We won't be able to see his achievements, unfortunately. Let's look at the Turkish Super League. They finished 2nd and 3rd, so he hasn't managed to win a title yet. Moving on to Sir Pelé Ferguson, another Brazilian. He's at Newcastle. Hasn't broken into the first team yet for Brazil. He's been on loan a few times. Newcastle bought him for 2.1k. That's crazy. Been on loan at Lyon, where he made... Wow, it's good. 14 goals in the league, 15 in all competitions. But this season in the Premier League, he hasn't really done anything. And he hasn't won anything yet. We're nearly there, guys. Alex Kenny, our Canadian, still at FC Utrecht. 18 caps for Canada. He's improved. Where are Canada in the world? 47th. That's pretty high, actually, for them. And he has done okay in the Dutch league. Not amazingly, but he's done okay, hasn't he? Let's go back and look at Leon. Another Finnish international, 4 goals in 14 games. And he's at Stuttgart, where he's been his whole career. Hasn't managed to win anything with Stuttgart at the moment. Matt Jones, our Northern Irish goalkeeper, 15 caps for Northern Ireland. He's playing for Stoke, but not getting into the first team, playing for the reserves. I suppose it's hard to get ahead of Begovic, isn't it, if they still have him. Milsey, Austrian, 4 caps, 1 goal, plays for Red Bull Salzburg. Has been there his whole career. played for the reserve team, and he's done well actually. Very good average ratings. Let's hope he can improve. Football Manager HD, another Dutch player, hasn't managed to break into the first team like our other Dutch players. He's been at PSV his whole career and played quite a lot of football over the last couple of years, and has won the Dutch Super Cup twice in his first 2 years, despite not playing as many games. Moving on to Petit, our Peruvian player. He's got 2 goals in 15 games for Peru. He is playing for this team in the Portuguese Premier League, and he's scoring goals. He's doing okay, isn't he? Procrastinator FM, another English keeper, hasn't broken into the first team like our other English keeper. He's at Leicester, and he's not really playing, unfortunately, in the Premier League. Playing reserve team football. Let's hope he can break into the first team in the next episode. Oop. Nearly there. Kai Harrop, who plays for St Kitts and Nevis internationally. Done quite well internationally. But for Stade Rennes, he's not really playing. Not really doing much. Needs to improve. Needs to break into the first team and become a first team regular. Lastly, Ted Jackson. He's moving to PSV soon from Feyenoord, of all teams, who've had him since the start of his career. He's been on loan, and then this season, last season played lots of games, and this season didn't really play, and PSV have decided to sign him and hopefully can develop him. So this video has been a bit of a marathon. Thank you for those of you that have stuck it out and looked at everything until the end. We'll start to look at sort of World Player of the Year in the next episode, I think. But maybe let me know your thoughts on the format of these videos in future. Some of you won't mind the length of the video. Some of you will probably think it's a bit long, a bit boring, going through every single player in detail. That's why I was reluctant to do it. But I thought I'd do it for this episode just so you can see where you all are. Maybe I can do it every other episode, because I'll be holidaying 2 or 3 years each time. So after 2 years, next time, for example, I will just look at certain players, look at the major stories, see what's going on with certain players, and we will look at World Player of the Year, who's been winning the World Cups and that sort of thing in the episodes that are a bit shorter, where we just look at a handful of players. Then in the next episode I can look at the players in detail. That's probably the best way to do it, just to get the best of both worlds. But thank you for watching. Please leave a like. Please check out Sir Alex Ferguson episode 3, which will be out an hour after this one. There's probably only half an hour to go now once this video is finished, and you can see which managers are managing you guys, because there will be some of the managers actually in charge of you, and you'll be able to blame someone for your poor performances if you're not happy, or you can thank the managers who have developed you nicely and given you game time. So go over and check that out. It's just a bit of fun, a bit of an experiment, and see what's going on over there. But thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in episode 4.